and action. Ooh, back in the game again. Welcome to the second try of the live stream video on how to rebuild my Zcorp printer. Today, hopefully, we'll get all the parts together. I don't think we're gonna get time to get the printer up and running, but at least all the structure and all the main parts. Before I start doing that, let me run you through the different parts that we're gonna have, and we'll start putting things together and see how it goes. Let me know if the audio is good, if you have any questions about any of the parts or things that we're using, and we go from there. Let's rewind. Put the sun. Oh no. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is connecting the legs to the main body. The main body is what holds the pistons, walls, or chambers, or whatever you want to call it. This is where the powder is moved up and down before the layers are spread. We'll get more into it as we move along with this build, but let's start with easy stuff. So if we zoom in here, you can see there's two legs. Both of them have wheels on the end, so that makes it easy to move. And apart from that, there is not much to it. This is probably the worst part to build because the main body is really heavy. Let me move the camera a bit so you can see more. Yeah. Like this. I think like this is better. Put this a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And let's go for it. The first thing we're gonna do is to connect the legs to the main body. It's hard to see or tell, but this main body is kind of important because on one side, let me zoom in. Yeah. This side is where actually the door will be on. This is a hinge or a hydraulic, I don't know how this is called. It helps the door to stay open or closed. Then you have the hole where the powder actually stays during the builds, and let's go from there. One thing that I never remember is which side of the legs goes where, because both sides are shaped like something weird. That's an interesting first question. The legs have a short and a long side to them, and I always forget which one goes where. Not the smartest thing to start the day with. Well, whenever I have these issues, I do what any human does, is like look to pictures on the internet. So if you can zoom in, we'll do Zcorp 310. Image. And I'm looking for a side picture of them. Of course, I cannot see any. I kind of like, oh, this is a good one. No, just want to see the picture, not show me the picture. I want to see your image. Yeah, obviously the long one goes behind. Okay, I promise this is the only unplanned thing. Well, that's not actually true. Let's open this again. Let's grab the screws and go for the first one. There is 2 screws on each side of the printer, so we said that the short one goes in front. Does that even make it? Yeah, actually it makes sense because these are the holes that support the main front part. So as we move along, I'm gonna grab the front part, make sure that the legs stay where they have to stay. This is kind of a bit tricky because, as you can see, I'm freestyling a lot, and this is not the greatest space to be doing this, but we'll get it done. That's what we do. First, let me move the printer a bit. And put the first 2 legs on. First 2 legs. Yeah, this doesn't have, this is not any type of critical science. It's just 4 screws per set of legs, and but it's important to get them right. You know, the foundations. This thing has 4 screws on each pair of legs. These are quite beefy screws, but let me tell you, this printer is solid and heavy. Actually, that's one of the main reasons why I'm taking it apart. Since I moved to New York, space is a luxury. So far I have had to move this printer. This is the 3rd location already, and let me tell you, having access to elevators is not, I'm not quite there yet in life. So the only way I was able to move this thing around is by taking everything apart. Even the first time, like when we bought this printer for the first time, I bought it in New Jersey. Oh, this is done. I bought it in New Jersey, and to bring it in the car, we had to take a lot of parts, to take a lot of things apart. It was not as crazy as I thought, but yeah, definitely. Once we got to the first floor of my apartment, we had to take apart the legs because it's too heavy for even 2 people to bring it upstairs. It was a 3 stories building, and let me tell you, that was a fun day. Thanks a lot to Jen and Teka for helping me with that. I think with the time, I've learned that there are some key elements that are mandatory to disassemble to move it. If you don't have an elevator, if you have an elevator, yep, then you're set. But most of the time there are like a couple sets of stairs, and if you don't have a ramp, it's really, really like all the printers together. I'm not sure how heavy. I think it's like around 70 or 80 or 100 kilos. It's pretty heavy. So it's not like a fun, it's not like a Superman, well, it's actually a Superman type of job. But definitely, like, I think last time it was just me and my wife moving it, and we were able to do it. Like, if you break it apart, you get there. Okay, first set of legs, it's in. Let's tumble the printer to get some space and room to put the second set. Where's the second set? Here. Hope you guys have seen something. And as usual, if you have any questions, just hit the chat, let me know, and Tomawa for letting me know about the sound design, and we go from there. The main reason why I'm doing this is because I'm sure there's someone in the world that at some point in their life they will need to see how to take this thing apart. So I didn't have that help. So I hope you, the person who sees this in the future, gets some assistance from this video. I'm pretty sure it could be better, but it's better than none, that's for sure. That's for sure. Okay. The good thing about this is that once you have the legs in, it definitely starts taking shape. I would say the hardest part of assembling this printer is the motors. Is the motors, the lead screws, and the pistons walls. Yeah, it gets pretty intense to get them working. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to tighten these lower screws. Let me try something and see if this improves the video a little bit, since I'm going to be working. Okay. Let's plug the lower cable, the lower. Okay, one more. And we're gonna connect another one soon. This is not an easy build. I wonder how long it's gonna take. I told myself that I can put everything together within a day, but not so sure about that. One thing that I did the first and the second time that I disassembled this printer was to take apart everything, including the motors, the cables, every single part. This time I tried to be more pragmatic and I only disassembled the big parts. It was kind of like a gamble. It was a bet, definitely, because if I messed up or destroy one of the motors, it's game over. There's very few parts that, well, there's a few critical parts that are really important to take care with this printer. I would say mechanical parts, those are okay most of the time. There's not gonna be big issues if you destroy a piston, not a piston, like a rod, or even like one of the plates or pistons that go up and down. But if you destroy one of the motors or even the electronics boards, that is kind of a more finicky thing, because then you're going down a really scary road to find a solution for it. Okay, let me move this for a second before I flip the printer. Let's bring this to life. I didn't tighten completely one of the legs, but because I couldn't, I'll install later. I think I didn't take the most smart approach, but we're almost there. It's going to live. Oh yes. Oh, feels good. Feels good. First important step. First important step. We got the printer. We got the printer up. That's important. Let me make sure that the legs are properly tight, and after this we'll move forward. I think this is, if you've ever built a printer, this is a fun printer to work with, because normally printers are way smaller, and you kind of lose that sense of like, oh, I'm building something big, but this time this counts as something big. That's for sure. And that's funny. That's funny. That's something that I enjoy from this printer. I enjoy and hate at the same time, because yeah, it makes it really hard to work with it. Or at least to move it around, unless you have a space where you know you're going to be working there for a while. But that's not my case. But so far, actually, today I was watching the old videos. Make sure to check them, the series of the Zcorp, when we put it together and start working with it. It was almost a year ago. It's been a while. It's been a fun journey. But yeah, I feel like little by little I've been learning more and more about this, but still not quite there. Many more things to learn. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this. So we've put the main structure together, the upper body, the main body structure, and the legs, and we have what I call the basic frame. And now if you come right down here, you can see the motor holes and this piece of metal. I know the lighting is horrible. That is what actually helps to keep the powder bucket collector in place. So the next thing we're gonna do is to put, I think I'm gonna put first before I put in the what's the name of it? Before I put in the motors, I'm going to first place the building plate and feeding plate, or walls. This is a pretty heavy part. These are, I think I showed it yesterday, let me show it to you again. These are the main cavities or walls for the pistons that push the powders up and down. It also has this third smaller opening that is mostly used to recycle the powder. Two interesting things about this construction. The first one is that it has this sealing gasket that helps to lock the piston walls in place, but at the same time helps to prevent powder from going inside the printer. And also, my favorite part are these metal rails. These metal rails are used as a magnet attachment rail that helps to keep two blocks, one on each side, always against the powder that the roller is spreading. And that what it does is actually it helps to prevent powder spilling out of the walls. There's still a lot of powder coming out, but not as much as you would have if you didn't have those parts for sure. This is a heavy part, so I'm gonna need to do it. I'm gonna need to leave the camera remotely and bring it up. It's a little bit sticky, so I'm gonna wash it a little bit before. Yeah, printing for the last year I've been mostly printing with sugar, and it's super sticky. So whenever I have the chance, because I have to move or because I'm changing powders or whatever, I always like to give a good clean, to have a good clean session. There's never enough cleaning, let me tell you. Okay. Let's bring this on. Let me see if you can you even see anything? I'm gonna grab the camera and bring it closer. So right now what I'm doing is bringing the pistons down, and this is interesting to see. They have what is this, like screws tapped, whatever we can call this. They have like screw supports that are tapped, so you can connect the main body to the walls and secure them and fasten them. Okay, let's bring it down. Okay. Yeah, it's way harder to remove. It's really easy to bring in because it's so heavy that there's no problem with it. Man, I'm happy. This is looking great. Nice sesh. Having fun all the time here. Yeah, these days I don't have much time to play and to try new recipes, but hopefully soon there will be more time. Okay, someone else join the party. Just for that new viewer, I just finished installing the piston walls. I'm missing to attach the bolts, to connect the bolts that attach these walls to the main body, and after that we will move to set in place all the motors. One of the biggest issues that I had with this printer the first time that I disassembled it was related to how to properly sort the bolts. This printer has a lot of bolts and a lot of them are similar, so I always had problems with that. But this time I was using sandwich bags, and I think it will do the trick. I'll tell you once I'm done. Okay, what is this? Cover in screws. Okay. Motors. I'm gonna need this soon. I'm gonna need not this soon. And maybe I should have sorted this before, but well, we're moving as we go. Chamber, inner wall. Okay. Hinges. This is very last. Back plate plus supply. This is important too. What is this? This chain. And this is pistons. Arc. Okay. So I found the screws that I need. Another thing that one of the main things that I don't like about this printer is that I think it uses a lot of different weird Allen key sizes. Really, sometimes the metric works great, sometimes the imperial works great, sometimes none of them does. Maybe it's because the screws are too old, but seriously, not fun. I mean, I would guess that since this is an American machine, imperial would be the way to go. But for example, when I was assembling the legs, I had to use the I forgot what I had to use. Yeah, I had to use the metric Allen key. And what I'm gonna try to do is to bring I don't know if there's anything I can do for you guys to see better what I'm gonna be doing down here. Maybe if I change the height of the camera, that's not gonna do much. What if I try something like this? Yeah, I apologize for the shaky movements, but I'm trying to get... I mean, there's no fun if it's just only me talking, so... Let me see if I do something like this. This can be more... more useful for some of you. Okay, I think this is a good view actually. What if I take this out? No, I really need this support. So, okay, and now we're just missing a little bit of light there, right? Missing a little bit of light. Oh, that's a great camera. And where are we gonna get that light from? We're gonna get that light from two different places. Yeah, it's pro lighting, let me tell you. So this view is actually the bottom of the machine, and right now what I'm doing is to insert and like pre-screw or like just hand tight the screws that hold the powder walls to the main body. And of course I don't have there's 4 of them, two per side. Two are already in, now I'm missing 2 more. I think the third is kind of in, but it's tough for me to tell. Yeah, if you're watching this just because you want to see how it works, just make sure to skip all the talk and go to the part that you want. This is not a super well planned assembly video, but I hope it gives you an idea of what you have inside of your Zcorp if you ever buy one. I don't think at least the old ones. Just to remind you, this is the 310 model. I don't think the 510 model is much different from this one. Well, apart from the obvious differences like three more colors, which is a big one already. So it makes the machine mechanically more complicated, I'd say. I don't think the computer is any different. Probably the main board, maybe. Although I haven't checked much mine if it have circuits that would allow to control more power. Okay. How are we doing? I don't know how long I've been live streaming already. First I thought this was going to take me 2 hours. I think it might take more than that. We'll see. Well, you know, if it's not done today, there'll be another day. You know? We will be doing it step by step. Okay. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the bottom part of the printer without the protection plate. The two holes, the two big holes that you're seeing are the motors that we will install soon, right after I finish attaching these 4 screws. Okay, screws are in. Good, first small win. Next thing we're gonna do is to connect the motors to their holes. Okay, for that I'm gonna need the motors screws. I have them here. And of course the motors itself. The motors themselves. Give me 1 second while I grab them. Man, I really like how this looks. I would have loved to have this video a year ago. Seriously. All the guessing that I had to do to just make sure this was properly disassembled. Okay. Okay. So when I was disassembling the printer, this part was really hard. It's like even beyond what I expected. So let's hope today that's not the case, and these motors are easy to assemble. So you might be wondering, what is this BD and FD, well, this is in the other side, FD sign? Totally confused. BD stands for building, and F stands for feeding. And the D, I think it's, I don't remember why I put a D there, honestly. I guess it's drive or motor. Anyway, let's grab the required Allen key. Now I cannot find it, of course. This is a classic movement. Whenever you want to do something, you cannot find the Allen key. And this one, I need the Imperial for sure. So the reason why we are installing the motors first is because the next thing we'll have to do is to put the lid screws. The lid screws are in charge of, oh, sorry for that. The lid screws are in charge of pushing up and down the lid screws are in charge of pushing up and down the plates that hold the this should go like this. The plates that hold the powder within the walls. I mean, the walls hold the powder and the plates push the powder up and down. And the interesting part for me is that the lead screws are actually the ones that are actuating the plate, obviously controlled by the stepper motor. I had a lot of issues when I was losing these bolts. Let's hope I don't break any of them. Well, one at a time, one at a time. Gang, one at a time. Well, that's the part I don't get. Why is it so hard? Although this one seems easier. It's gonna take me forever. Let me see if my awesome set of tools has it. No, this one's too big. Well, we'll keep doing this. I keep using this. Okay. That is a little tight. Oh, this one is super. So good. I appreciate that. Not properly. I think I destroyed the thread, honestly. Yeah, that's not going straight at all. Okay. Oh no! Honestly, I think this time if I get two of them properly fastened, I will be more than happy. For sure I'm gonna get this one. This one was easy and smooth. But these ones are like a pain in the butt. A pain in the butt. I think I've destroyed the thread. That is destroyed. That sucks. Well, I'm gonna take a break and do the rest. I just want to try it. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Yeah. Why am I doing this without the motor? You might be asking. The main reason is because I want to see if Well, if you're watching this video, just make sure to skip the next hour because I'm gonna spend like probably an hour just playing with these things. Okay, this one is good enough, so I just need to remove it. I hope this method pays back. Okay, this one is done. Yeah, I'm almost like wearing out this. I'm destroying the. Mainly what I'm doing is destroying the thread in the screw, but why is it so bad? Oh wow, I think this one is the awful one to remove. Should I stop and rethread them by a tap? Because I honestly don't understand why it's so hard. Why so hard? Oh, how great, I lost one of them. Okay, this one is set too. If I manage. Okay. This one's kind of going easily. Okay. Yeah, just don't think this is gonna last long. It is not here before. Already in place. Yeah. As I said before, during this time when I was disassembling the printer, there was a few things that I don't want to do. Like I didn't remove these bars aligning pieces, or even this powder collection bucket holder or slide. And now I'm just working my way through it. Let's do this. So you first, because you're the easy one to put in. Okay. How much fun is this? Like, I think there is no other step that takes as long as this. And just because the threads are destroyed. Well, we endure through these moments. That's what we have to do. Otherwise, we never get to the goals. It's gonna be awesome to have the printer back and working again. I'm excited to try some new recipes, actually. It's been a while since got the chance to do so, and having the printer up and running is the first stage for it. Wow, this one is super, the location is super friendly. And I don't have enough strength to lovely. Let me see if I can use this thing. Oh, where's the bigger one? Let's see. Not the way to go, but these are the tools that I have, man. Why are you making this so hard? I'm already giving up on having all the 4 screws into this, really. If I get 3 per motor, I'll be more than happy. I would love to know. Oh. I'm giving in. Ikea. Come for watching. Okay, so way easier, you know. I removed that part was in the middle, and I now have some space to, well, not much, but more than before. To this, I wonder why the screws are so hard. Like, what is the difference? What has happened to them? Life, right? Life. Okay. Okay. BD. FD. They all in? I'm missing one. I really don't know where to put this one now. Let me even see the hole. Very curious. Okay, BD is in, for good or for bad. Now I get this. Back where they belong, before I forget. Slowly moving forward. No, but they say no pain, no gain. And that's what we're doing right now. Also for me, like the first time I opened this printer, it was really interesting to see how it was built and actually how is it done, like this printer compared to any other that I had the chance to calmly take apart and look inside. It looks completely different, right? So the price for them, it's a completely different game. But well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get these models in place, because it's time for it. It's time. The issue with this one is that this one is still complaining, right? Okay, might need to some water to this effort because my lord, these screws are killing me. Okay. Oh, well, nobody's watching today. video right now. Well, I'll keep doing. Again, past me would have loved to have a deeper understanding of what is going on inside of the printer. So I hope, even just for myself, I'm making this video. And at the end, I have to put the printer together too. So, okay. Yeah, this screw is like anything but straight. Okay. Well, and for this one, I also got 3 in. 3 is more than none. You know? Okay. Next thing I want to do is to get some gloves. I'm gonna get the lead screws in. I would say that's the last hard part to put together the printer. Well, more or less. The tubing sometimes is a pain in the butt, but we'll do so. So just for you guys to understand, these are the lead screws that screw into the motor. I think this screws the other way. And allow to hold the pistons, well, to move the pistons up and down. Okay, this is going on, this is happening, exciting. Stretchable in having here. Maybe a piece of paper. Na 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 na. This is important. These blocks hold the pistons in place and connect them to the lead screw. Actually, these blocks are the ones that transmit the force between the lead screw to the bars that move up and down the pistons. And I will show you that in a second with one example. Oh, you missed that. So what you've seen the bars sliding in, those are part of the piston plates. The piston plates, I'll show you that. Piston plates look like this. piston plates look like. Let me bring. Oh no! Oh no! The cable is coming out. No! I think the live stream is just like camera died for a second. Okay, repositioning the camera for you to understand how it's going. These are the plates. Keep them a little bit clean. And the way this works is that the plates have two rails. Those two rails slide in and then you push down. And yeah, it's as simple as it sounds. You just have to adjust the sliding it in. Let me zoom out. Just sliding it in. You can definitely see the piston start sliding. And if you actually check underneath, you can see how the pistons slowly move down. And that's the key part. You want them all the way down. Good. It's looking solid. We're getting there. Excited, excited. Putting together this printer is always like, like a work of faith. Yes, it takes so long. It seems like it's never gonna end, but little by little. Okay. So right after this, the next thing that we have to do is actually connect the plates. So we slide the washer, we connect this thing to it. And normally, if there's enough distance, you have the space to put another washer. Now you're not seeing much, right? Put another washer and connect them. Cool. Once this is done, first thing I like to do is it's slice this thing. Well, first I like to tighten this. Well, honestly, I'm freestyling here. I don't remember how I did it last time, so well, just bear with me and let's try to find the best way to do this. Okay. Top ones. Rail. What is this one? Okay. At the end of the rails, there is two screws that actually align the rails with the bar and the lead screw. Well, actually, these two screws are the ones that transmit the force, mainly. Or one part of it. Okay. Oh. Oh, my turn. 배고파요?
아니야.
So right now I'm there is 2 screws that go through the upper face of the plate that connects to the vertical bars. These bars here, these ones. And just because it's gonna be messy for me to change it, just gonna bring them diagonally. Just trust me on this one. There's 2 screws on the other side. I need to tighten them up a little bit. Okay, so those 2 screws are already in place. And before I go and tighten these 2, I like to lose this thing just to make sure. First I'm gonna need, how big is this? Is it this one? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, I tighten this too. Okay, and now, no, I cannot push them up and down because the lead screw is there, but if I can see this thing completely moving. And if you can see now that I'm just spinning it, there is a point where the whole assembly goes up. And that means that the piston is, well, the lead screw is already touching the plate underneath. So at that point, what I just do is tightening the bolts. And, yep, right after this, the next one comes. Bolt, I never remember which side is the good one. This live stream is starting to be a bit long already, huh? Okay.
야, 파타지야 좋아?
Patatilla choa, of course. ¿Y tú? Okay, and after this, let's tighten. Oh, I'm missing the screw. I'm missing the screws. Ay. Guess this video is super exciting. Yeah, let me zoom out. Let's tighten this too. Nice part is that once this is tightened, the lower part is done. So I just need to start working on assembling the upper part. Which is great news. The same thing. This one feels a little bit tighter, but it's all related to how this time I didn't change the cloth that sandwich the plates. That's a special cloth that actually what it does is avoids the powder to fall between the plate and the walls of the pistons. But it's all good. I'm surprised actually that this is so low. Let's see how. Now it feels better. Yeah, this is something that yeah. Okay. And these screws are set and ready to be tightened with the wrench, crescent wrench. Crescent wrench. Help me to tighten this, please. I think I need another crescent wrench. I don't know what it is right now, but I don't remember this being hard to tighten. So. So we'll be doing both sides. Okay. Good. And I think we can honestly say that we are done underneath the printer, which is great. Which is very much good. Oh, is it the camera? Yeah. I mean, building this printer is not an easy job. Doing a live stream at the same time just makes it more interesting. And yes, good. Because we're kind of like we're getting close to the important stuff. What's next? Yeah, honestly, the next steps, I'm not really sure what to do next. Let me check behind, because one of the important things to do here is to one of the missing parts behind the printer are or is the computer. My kitchen towel. What options do I have now? Yeah, I can close there and log the computer. Actually, I don't need to close there to put the computer on. No, that's interesting. For sure, but what is the backplate? Backplate is this one. So there's a part that goes underneath the printer. As I mentioned before, this printer has a lot of parts. This plate, mainly what it does is sits underneath the printer, and it gives us like a spot to Ooh, interesting. I think there's a reason for it. Does this thing goes before the legs are tightened? No. Uh-oh. Well, I need to lose the legs, that's for sure. Now, what's this puppy's not going in? Yeah, who knows where is that? All in key right now. Mainly right now what I'm doing is just loosening up the legs so I can put the back plate in, because it's definitely not sliding, it's too tight. And it's like 2, 3, 4 millimeters tight, which is crazy. Okay. And the plate goes in. The plate goes in like this. This is on one side. at least on one side. Oh, this is a good point to note. For the next time, if there is a next time, there will be a next time. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Go in. It's not in properly. Now it's in properly. Okay. So I need 4 screws for this back plate. Micro frame. And these are the screws that I need. These are 3 Phillips screws. Now I'm gonna need to choose. What is important, what I'm doing right now, I'm building the back plate that holds the computer, and that is awesome, and this is awesome because again it means that we're getting closer. Not the closest thing ever, but I would say we are like at least 3/3, like 1/3 down the road. Yeah, actually took too long. The motors took too long. Normally this is a brief. Okay, and now that we have this in place, I can tighten the legs again, and this time we're gonna go I'm just gonna snug them. And okay, it's too strong. Dime. 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 알았어. I think I would like to, because I'm getting closer to finish. Maybe 1 hour more and I'm done. So I can clean here properly before vacuuming.
Want to eat now?
Sí, sí, I'm going to eat contigo. Okay. Uh, I'm going 1 second. Yep. And we're back. We're back. So the last thing we did before lunch was to install the back plate, and the next following piece, natural following piece, is to install the computer. This printer has two main blocks with electronics. The big one is the computer, that is the one that we are installing right now, and the second one is the, what's the name of the second one? Am I missing something here? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, what? Oh, I'm doing something really wrong here. I don't remember. I see. I see what's going on here. This puppy doesn't go here, it goes all the way up here. And it has 4 points where it actually gets attached. There's an important part that is good to remember. When we are plugging the cables that go from the power supply to the computer, the power one is pretty simple because it only has one connection, but let me tell you, the other one does not, has different options, and I always forget. So I always take the same picture before disassembling it. And I need to find that picture. Disassembled this printer last week. Yep. Selfie work. Selfie. Family. What is this? Oh my god, I have too many pictures. Ugh. Oh, I was there already. The green one. It doesn't go to the purple. It goes to the green one. Also, this has, again, nobody's following this. Nobody's following this, so hope you bear with me. Bam. So here you can see the connectors that go to the computer. They come from two places. One is the power supply and the other one is the main board. Motors, power supply, and gantry main board. It's a cool thing to see. These two hanging ones here go to the power supply. We'll connect it again. But the ones here, this is like the motors, both up and down, and this is the control panel, and these two are for gantry motors, and I guess this is what is used for, what's the name? What is used for the head? No, why is it not working? This is probably the worst live stream ever. But again, it's not a competition. Just trying to bring some light to someone in the future. Okay, once we have the computer on, the rest should be pretty straightforward. Let me roll around the printer a bit. Have space. The first thing I'm going to install, two things. Let me bring some light here. It would be nice if I could just bring some light. Some lighting, conditioning here. Let's work with this thing here like this, and point this down. And then put the camera here and bring this down. I mean, it could be better, but it is what we have right now. Okay. Let's keep going. We haven't finished this journey yet. Next part to attach is going to be the front rail, where the gantry slides on. This was one of the first surprises that I had when I started playing with this printer, and is that the gantry actually slides on. There is no like bearing that is hugging, for lack of a better word, the slide. I guess it's made out of Delray or something like that. Maybe some sort of like special Egus bearing, but it works, so no complaint about that. This is an easy piece to install, to have a first win while we build the rest of the print. This part, I don't want to say it's tricky, but it can be. So, let's just start easy and work out our way through. So, this easily fits in here. It has two screws that come from the bottom. Nothing crazy here. An easy job to get done. After this, we're gonna work on obviously right now all the top part of the printer is empty, so it's missing a lot of things, right? Actually, we could install the front. Let's do ourselves a favor, install the front. I'm using the wrong screen, Yeah, this could take better cleaning, but you know, just trying to get this printer built. One of the things that I'm excited to start testing with this is other materials than sugar. I think sugar is great to learn, but I think this technology has been so like 3D printing, 3D food printing in general has been always tied to things like paste and baby texture food. And powder printers actually come to play and say, no, there's more stuff, but powder printers for edible items have been mostly only using sugar. So I'm excited to start trying new things that are different than that, but well, you know, one step at a time, my friend. Let's put the screws, if it's used, I'm putting the other side. If it's not used, close this one, so I don't lose track of the thingies. Also, after getting that in place, I think I'm going to connect the front panel. Let me grab the front panel, change the camera angle so you can see a bit more of it. Yeah, every time I move the camera it disconnects. That's super friendly. Anyway, this is the front panel. One thing to keep in mind is it has two connections. Okay, the first one is obviously the control panel. Here, let me zoom in. Here, the control panel, and the other one, that because the light is horrible, you cannot see, is this tubing. That what it actually does is sends the binder that is being used to perch the cartridge to the collection bottle on the front that is down there. Can you see it? Hope it's, yeah, it's this bottle. Okay, so first I'm gonna slide in the collection tube. Connect the panel. Easy and simple. Actually, I think there's two bursts, but just flat to flat. Easy, and the panel itself has some latching mechanisms. It has also has two screws, but mostly has 4 latches that once they are in, it sits properly. Yeah, this is a quick win that I always like to do because, you know, it's easy and helps to make me feel that we're getting closer to the end. Kind of. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see, there's 2 screws that hold the front facing the front the front plate in place. This is for the chain. This is for the frame. This is for the back plate. This is for the hinges. Chamber inner wall. And here we have the cover inner screws. Yeah, I mean, I know some people like the Allen key stuff, but sometimes it's so. Yeah, I mean, I must admit that my collection of tools isn't the greatest, especially since I just broke one of them. I hope it still works. Still works. Okay. Of course, it's impossible to align. Just make sure the hole is in the right place. You know, when one is hard, just go for the easy first. Small wins. That's what keeps us going. And sometimes just by making sure that one is in the place, the other one easily aligns. I used to bother a lot about tightening these screws like super tight, but it doesn't make any sense because then every time I take this thing apart again, here we go, the same issue. So for now, yeah, so now I obviously have a height issue. It's funny though. So badly aligned. So badly aligned. And also it has sugar inside, so that doesn't help me to get a nice grab in here. Yeah, it's going in. Again. Yeah, front plate is in place. My cell phone. The next thing that I like to install is, oh no, I hope not. I hope not. I shit you not. Don't do this to me, man. Be kind. This goes backwards. No, this goes like this. I had this issue before. Now I remember why I hate this thing. Because you need to remove the fire cover before adding the side panels. Well, one step forward, two steps backwards. No, Bujuvantan said so. For a reason. Not sure if he was into printing food, but might apply for a lot of different things in life. But we get there. We'll get there. I think the video must be already like 3-4 hours long. How exciting might be that to watch. Right now, not even my wife is watching it, so that's something. That says something about it. I think these side panels are not. I'm back live. Okay, now it's charging. That's important. Well, let's recap for a second. Just put on the front plate, the side plates. Remember, always put first the side plates, and there is only one back cover missing that will come at the end after the rest of the printer is in place. Next step, there's I think six tiny screws that held the side panels in place. Okay, I'm gonna tidy up. I'm not gonna tidy right away. I think this is one of my favorite things to do because, okay, 2 in. Oh no! Why did I remove this? I know. Okay, first screw in. Let's go for the third one. It is a little bit tight to connect because it has It's very tight to connect because it has the door hinge right here. Oh well, it's in. Yeah, I'm getting closer and closer, people. Where's the last one? And the last one goes here. I think this one I will have to use Allen key. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Then I think the next step is pretty obvious, and it's going to be to put, let me move all the tools down here. Let me put the cleaning area first. Cleaning area is this. The next thing to do that I'm going to do is to put this cleaning thingy. This is designed for the, what's the name of it? For the cartridge to clean itself. It's completely the same way it works with printers, paper printers. So nothing new. Yeah, this screws has a lot of dirt in them. It's good that they're seeing some cleaning. Yeah, you can get a better view of what I'm working on. Is this part here. Put it on, and just tighten the screw. I think I choose the Allen key that is too small. Maybe this one is bigger. I was wondering, would it be worthy to buy one of these printers and just use the feeding and rolling mechanism? But this is an encoder. Probably, I'm sure this is a stepper motor or not, but just to save time building the whole piston up, piston down feeding mechanism. Just thinking out loud here. Next step is going to be kind of like a delicate one. Probably the most delicate one is to bring the most sensitive part of the printer with the computer in back to where it belongs. So first I would like to do some cleaning here because this has powder everywhere. These have seen better days, huh? I don't know if you're still zooming. Right now I'm working on the gantry. I didn't clean much the gantry, so I'm taking the time to just make sure that I try to, just some touches here and there. We're getting there. Look, this is the beginning, es un comienzo. ¿Qué galería? And this goes like this basically. There's not much to take into account. Well, this needs to get properly cleaned. Taking the time to getting things in place. The rail in place. There's plenty of cleaning that I can do more here, but I'm not gonna work much about it. I'm not gonna worry much about it today. Just wanna get the printer clean and at least get the parts that are really hard to access once everything is closed properly cleaned. Oopsie! Yeah, most of the time spent on this printer. It's clean because there's a lot of places that now I have easy access to, that once the cover is on, there's no way to get there. There's no way to get easy access to them. So I just rather take the time and do some cleaning. Okay. Could clean more, but venga. To these we're missing two things. Real The wheel has 4 screws. So we can flip them up, clean them up a little bit before we screw them in. Yeah. Okay, so the rail is almost in place, and this is good. This one's more than this one. Maybe this one. So it's one bigger than this one. Maybe this one. Exactly. Exacta. Okay. And then this one. Okay. Yeah. 몇 시에요? 다시? 4:50? So right now what I'm doing is actually to install the y-axis This is an interesting part that you're missing, and I think it's worth it for you to see the better view and the better lighting too. This gives you a better insight of This is what we're working on. This is the part that actually holds. Okay, I found it. It's tricky to get the teeth of the belt aligned with the teeth engraved on the holding block. Tricky because there's not much room if you want it to be in a position where you can actually tighten the belt. Using this puppy, which I don't know. This puppy goes through here, that's for sure. And then it meets I don't remember where these nuts go, where the washer goes. I'm gonna put it here. Put the washer on the other side. It doesn't make a lot of sense. From here is all about just making sure this one is tightened and all the way to the end. Okay. The things I want to do here. First, soften this baby. So it's actually this one, the one who's leading the tensioning. Oh wow. Oh, it would be awesome to have one of those devices that help you to measure the tension of the belt, but I don't have it. And neither I have the good values for the belt. So actually I've been having issues with it. I think once this belt totally got loosened, I guess it was over tightened and the printer was not moving. So it's kind of critical, but you know. Okay, so the gantry is in place. Let's bring some light at you. Gantry is in place. And we're getting closer to the end. What am I going to do? This is the next part. I call this the gantry bridge cover. I'm pretty sure this could have a better name. This is mostly in charge of the cable cover and the rear top enclosure of the printer. Okay. And this one goes like this. Like this or the other way around. Why are you even here? Yep, in place. This is taking serious shape already. Serious shape. Only two bags of screws left. Susana, I'm gonna take 30 minutes more, Kaima. 30 minutes more, Kaima. Miragamos. It's getting there, Zona. You want to check? Huh? Nobody's watching. Getting there, so. Oh, so I've been streaming for 3 hours already. Oh, this puppy has 3? Oh, nice. So the cable chain has 3 screws that hold it to the gantry main plate, or the one that is on top of the rail. These are kind of the screws that help things to move. Well, helps to keep the what's the name of this? Helps to keep the cable chain in place. So when the gantry goes from one side to another, it actually goes with it. I mean, it's a really clean solution. Again, this is a expensive material. Again, this was an expensive machine back in the days, so it's expected to have this type of features. At least I would. You know, if you pay 30K for it. Okay, so this is in place. The next one is, well, I'm actually missing a set of screws. These are the hinges. This is the back plate, and I'm missing the dish foil. So the gantry cover, bridgey, whatever, has 4 screws that we're gonna attach right now. Oh, I need to go through on the other side. Oh wow, it's super friendly. It should have attached this before. Oh, now it's impossible to attach. Arrgh. Nope, that's not an option. It's not an option, people. I need this one. Yeah. And now, after opening this, I can go and put these ones in. Sad. I hope I don't need to. My mixture. So lovely. To disassemble the other side too. Okay. Mix shakes with it's better than yours. I'm actually using that. Better than yours. Now I'm missing you. Yeah. Ok. Una pizza menos, amigos. Madre mía. ¿Cómo vamos de hora hoy? Feels like goodbye. hesitating about adding this one right now. This one I'm not gonna add it today. So and the last thing I'm going to add is the door. There's something. The door, can you clean it later? So I clearly need screws. Chisana, can you help me for a second? Because it's hard for me to install the door without help. Sarangeta. You need to stay there. Okay. I'm live, Chisana.
I cannot.
Solo mío. Wait, I'm gonna.
How many people is it?
What?
How many people are watching?
Nobody.
진짜?
But after this, I'm gonna reorder here so I can start vacuum. The printer is almost set. Just need to.
What to...
No? So I need to install the door, and for that I need to hold the door like this. Do you see the black? No, here on the door, the thing that I'm holding, it has a black metal hinge. Can you put it flat? Yeah, like this. Can you press it against the wall? Yeah, that's perfect. 1 second. No, I need you to hold. Can you hold the door up here? The door. 고맙습니다. Don't open it. Just come more up. No. Okay. Can you hold it here? Un segundín. I told you that my mama bought us a lottery ticket, right?
Oh, Luisa, you are bleeding. Go.
And my teeth?
Why? But it's a lot, Louis.
No.
Why?
Because it's normal.
What is normal? Why? From your gum?
I'm bleeding from my fans here. Kidding. I will look at it. Because this is a poco too much to hold. So I'm gonna put this down here. Is a lot of blood?
It was a lot.
Okay, it's been a solid day building the printer. Almost everything is on. I just still miss connections, tubing, but the whole structure is built in, and I'm just, the only part to install is the back plate, that I will do it once I'm sure that the printer works and everything's in place. Well, but that will need to be another day. Done for today. Thanks a lot for watching this live stream, and see you soon.